Pickacard, how are you a joy to people? Here are your selections, and I'll see you at your reading. Hi friends, my name is Griselle with Toughdolltarot, and I'm here to do your reading. Pile number 1, you chose this image on the right-hand side of the screen. I'm going to go ahead and ring the bell for additional good juju in 3, 2, 1. Okay. Pile number 1. Why are you a joy to people? How do you bring joy to people? I got this idea, and unfortunately it came to me around 3 o'clock in the morning. So I got up at 4 because I couldn't sleep. And here we are, you and I. How are you a joy to people? We're about to find out. I'd like to take a moment to thank all of you guys who are subscribing and dropping comments. Thank you so much. How are you a joy? Pile number 1. Decisions. So, oh, higher self and pleasure. What? Okay. So, pile number 1, I am definitely, I'm going to say that, first of all, you bring joy to people because you feel yourself. And I feel like you make no bones about it. I think especially in a society today where everybody is so critical, we micromanage everything, we're hypercritical, we doctor up every photograph, right? We have the Instagrams that we have to like match up to, and there is a lot going on there. But I feel like you are unabashedly yourself. I feel also like your sense of humor, because I'm looking at her dark hands right here compared to the rest of her skin. And I'm going to say, you know those memes where it talks about like, okay, touch my soul, and then their hands are all dark. So I feel like you could have a really quirky sense of humor, a little bit self-deprecating, maybe even perhaps. You could have luscious hair. You could have a little, you know, embrace your curls, that kind of a thing. Natural hair, I'm feeling. Maybe even bigger hair. With the number 11, I feel like people experience your joy, experience you as being their joy, I should say, because you lend stability, you lend newness, new ideas. I feel like you open up people's heart chakra as well. But most of all, I feel like they feel inspired by you. And the reason why is because they can see directly that you are getting your downloads, and how you formulate your decisions is strictly based on spirit. I feel like you look up towards the heavens, whatever that means to you, towards higher self, towards God, source, all the things. And that is really inspiring, especially in a world where we're told that that's not real, where it's, you know, mocked or whatever. And yet people in the same breath will tell you, well, I love you. And it's like, well, prove it. I mean, if you can't prove the first, you can't prove the second, right? So pile number 1, I definitely feel like you have a sharp intellect, but I feel like you also don't allow things of this world to kind of drag you down. You're no longer, I should say it this way, you're no longer ruled by what other people say about you, or the confines and the restrictions of what kind of a box people want to put you in. And that is really admirable. I feel like you liberate people. Again, with the white dress she has on right here, I definitely feel like you have a strong spiritual connection, and you show people that, yes, this is possible. Yes, this is real. And I feel like you prove it time and time and time again. And that renews people's faith. I feel like it renews their vitality, and it definitely invigorates people and helps people to seek answers outside of the matrix. Now, with this heart chakra being shown right here with the number 4, yeah, that's what I'm getting, is you give a lot of people like stability. I feel like you also give them room. It's almost like, even though she's opening up her hands to the heavens, I feel like that's how people feel about you. It's like you extend your arms open, and you have a spirit of non-judgmentalness. But I also feel like, even though these are not exactly laser beams, they are starting to feel that way, that you have longevity of vision, that you have a vision that is really unusual, that helps you separate like the BS from the real thing, okay? And with that being said, let's see what else we have for you. We have the Queen of Cups. We have, I was wondering if this would come up because I hadn't seen it much since I got it. The Moon. You're deeply intuitive, highly sensitive. I feel like you bring joy to people in such a way because you help them to understand that maybe they need to separate from other people. I like how my voice cracked. They need to separate from other people. I feel like you help people also to get in tune with the other side, with spirit, with how it is that they're feeling first and foremost, in order to really shed light on whatever it is they're going through. You are definitely spiritual. You could be my spiritualists, my healers, but definitely very connected to your emotions, and maybe even possibly maybe even you have the touch of like the tisms, right? That like autism, it could be super high functioning or any demographic in between. But I'm just going to say that you could experience sensitivity. And especially now where you're growing and evolving, I feel like people experience you and think about you with joy because you really express that you're sensitive about things. Like you don't keep that stuff to yourself. I heard you don't keep that issue to yourself. And by the way, these two cards could be perceived as offensive because they do have swear words. So we're going to try to mitigate that by telling you ahead of time where you can click off or fast forward or do whatever it is that you do. Pile number 1. Yeah, you got that ability to go really, really deep. You go through the depths. It's almost like you go through the depths of the waters in order to really understand or glean gems that you could find there. And you also reach the height of the stratosphere in order to really balance everything out. So you're very balanced, and people experience joy around you because they feel welcome, they feel accepted, they feel like you're not going to judge them, but also that they're around someone who is very different, that is someone who's an old soul, that it's almost like you have a grandma spirit in your body, which sounds really weird, but you could be that friend that you take care of people, that you know exactly what to say, you know how to hold silence, you don't feel the need to rush into something and just speak in order to say something. And that is, I feel like people reminisce long after you're gone about how they feel towards you, and they can't really quite put words on it, right? So pile number 1, we have amazing things can happen when women help other women. And I just want to say this is not a women's inclusive channel. My guy, if you are one of the people here listening, then you are most welcome. I feel like, again, look at all the warmth. Look at the meowness of this card. I feel like you really help to lift people up. You help other people feel themselves on a whole different level, to understand and see themselves on a whole different level, which really helps their trajectory as well. Sorry, I have a cold. So pile number 1, we have, I don't care about anyone not liking me. You itches barely like yourselves. Yeah. So I feel like you're incredibly individual, as we covered before, but I also feel like if somebody comes after you, boy, they're going to get a can of whip. You know what? So not a lot of people mess with you. I feel like you're all of a sudden I'm getting a feeling of like an alley cat. Like you know how to scrap. You're a scrapper if you have to, but you're a lover, not a fighter, unless you have to be, right? So it really depends on what type of experience people want to have with you, depending on how they behave. You can switch it up if you need to, right? And I don't disagree with that. Pile number 1, Justice. You are very fair. You are very fair. I feel like you give as good as you get. And if I remember correctly, I was reading a little bit about pagodas a while ago, and they aren't like the most stable structure. They're made to fluctuate with any earthquakes and things like that, and they're just simply amazing. I feel like you bring clarity to all situations. I feel like you have your feet firmly planted on the ground, like we spoke about just a moment ago, and this is why you are a joy to be around. This is why you're remembered with joy, and this is why people can't get enough of you. So pile number 1, let's get 2 more cards in here. How are you a joy to others, please? We have the Six of Cups. People have really fond memories of you. Fond memories of when you were neighbors, when you were able to really commune together, when you went to school together, when you lived together, when you lived within the same town, that kind of a thing. And they always had like high aspirations. I feel like you always had something different about you. Maybe you attracted like birds and things like that, but never really noticed. But I feel like you offered just a lot of love instinctively. I feel like you don't withhold love from people, and that is a reason why you bring joy to people. But I'm looking at the mountain back here, and I feel like, you know what, you will, once again, it's according to situation. Like if somebody brings you grief, you're not about that life either. And you can ice them out just as quickly as you can hand them a cup of love. So I feel like people have experienced this, and that's why they realize that you've just brought a lot of joy into their life, and they don't want to lose you. Pile number 1. Yeah. You could cause, not that you're causing, but people can want to fight for you. Like if you grew up in a small town, small village, people could like want to fight to date you. They want to fight to be your best friend. They want to fight to be the person that you go to. They want to be part of your team, that kind of a thing. They could, for example, at family get-togethers and things like that, they could be the kids, you know, when you were younger or even older. It's like if somebody's like sitting there, but they get up for a moment, that seat will quickly be warmed up by someone else who wants your attention. Hello, attention and affection as well. And it seems to be like you have a little bit of a royalty vibe to you. So we love that for you. That's what I have. Let me know what you think if you resonate with this. And until next time, namaste. Hi friends, my name is Griselle with Toughdolltarot, and I'm here to do your reading, pile number 2. I'm going to go ahead and ring the bell for additional good juju in 3, 2, 1. All right. How are you a joy to others? That is the question that woke me up at 3 a.m. And I just finally got out of bed at 4, and I'm like, we're doing this because I can't sleep because it's in my brain. So here we are. Here we are. How are you joy to others? Pile number 2. I'd like to take a moment as well to thank you so much, you guys, for liking and subscribing. I really appreciate it. This is also my second channel. My first channel is called PsychicMD, and I'll link that below in the description box. I also have a September 2024 giveaway for a free reading with yours truly that you can find in each respective tab, community tab. I haven't posted that yet, by the way. So I'll get to that this week, but keep an eye open for it. How are you a joy? What? Self-love. The vibe, not the card, but the vibe came up in pile number 1. How are you a joy to others? Self-love. Nature spirits. How are you a joy? Pile number 2. Adventure. Okay. So maybe you're down for anything. Let's just take a look at these right here. How are you a joy to others? I feel like you bring a levity to people as well, and acceptance. These look like expanded angel wings for some reason to me. And what do we have here? We have chains. I'm all ducking, like breaking the chains. That was back in the day. So I also have the North Star. I feel like you help people to really dream, to really settle back and go back into what they used to want to do, what they used to want to be as they were children. And maybe something about your profession or something about you that you've been able to go back and retrieve something from your youth or a dream or a cause, a desire, that kind of a thing, and you have helped bring it into adulthood. It's evolved, of course, because we're adults, right? But I feel like you've broken chains right here in the same way that you've broken chains for yourself. You bring joy in people because you have a rapid mind, I'm hearing, and you have the ability to bring really pragmatic solutions to other people, where they feel like chained and bound and basically almost choked out by the responsibilities of life or things like that. That's the main thing I'm getting. And I feel like you have a way of like saying, well, you could try this, 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 and this, and this. And it's very easy for you to come up with these solutions. And I feel like you download those things from the divine. I also feel like you bring joy to people, and the fact that maybe perhaps they've seen you break through these chains with the number 7 being highlighted here and almost like hugged by the moon. I feel like that's a very spiritual number. So you could have a very strong connection to your spirit guides, spirituality, and also your north node, because I can't speak, pile number 2. And with self-love, I feel like this is growing. People can see that growing, manifesting, evolving, and what that looks like in your life. And when you do, and I'm getting confirmation, my crown chakra. So if you got that confirmation, drop that in the comments below, because I'm very curious if we get it at the same time, or if this is just like my thing and you won't be feeling nothing about that. I don't know. How do you bring joy to others? So, pile 2. 2 of Wands. Yeah, you bring options, choices. We have the 2 of Wands. We have the Fool. I don't think I've ever gotten this card before. Look at her being a mermaid with her long old body. Interesting. We have the 8 of Wands. And we have the 4 of Coins. It's always like a mixed grab. I always kind of hold my breath because I'm like, are we going to get a wild card? Pile number 2. I feel like your experience is being very warm. You could be very much connected to nature. I'm hearing a nature god, a nature goddess, right? I feel like you could have a green thumb as well. But the 2 of Wands right here, I feel like people experience you in a manner that you really give them options. You help them to see and double check. It's like, am I headed the right trajectory? I feel like they're really eternally grateful for that, because even though initially it could be discombobulating, because this person is like, hey, here I come. He's headed in this direction, but now it's like, look both ways. Similar to when we're kids and we're told, hey, look both ways when crossing traffic, that kind of a thing. I feel like you remind people, hey, even though you're an adult, it's good to check in with yourself. Pile number 2, we have the 8 of Wands right here. And I feel like you bring the fire, you bring the passion, okay? You definitely bring the passion. I'm feeling that with your star right here. I feel like you're somebody who really looks up to the stars to really regenerate. Maybe you look for hope. Maybe it is that you are somebody who can really heal with your energy as well. You are definitely a healer. And some of you guys can heal through herb and things like that. Is it called herb? Because for me, it was always silent, but whatever. Herb, that thing. Those things I'm talking about. Different plants and whatevers, all the whatevers. Also, with the 4 of Coins, I feel like you hold back. You restrain yourself from giving too many opinions on what people should be doing. I feel like you allow that path to be made clear for the individual. I feel like you're somebody who kind of paves the way. And maybe you might say, hey, are you sure you want to be doing that, friend? Are you sure that you haven't looked at all possibilities, friend? And, you know, have you considered this or that and the other? But you really withhold, because I feel like with this, it almost looks like a turkey vulture to me, right? I love those, by the way. We have those here, and they're just so beautiful. I feel like that could be like a spirit animal for you. I also feel like with the vultures, they have a mission to do. They have a job to do, and that is to clean the bones off of, you know, whatever's decaying. And I feel like you have the ability to go within and kind of look at everything and say, okay, have you used all of your resources like the vultures would do, right? And I feel like that's something that you definitely do. You help people to go within their reservoir and find different like nuggets. I just saw 717 right now that they wouldn't have thought would be applicable or helpful for today. Pile number 2, sorry, I have a bit of a runny nose here. So if I sound funny, that'd be why. Pile number 2, we have my words, hello. So cheeky. My words are not directed to anybody, but if the shoe fits, wear it. Cinder effin Ella. Yeah, I feel like sometimes people could think that you are caustic or abrasive with your words, and I resemble that remark. Pile number 2. Beauty begins the moment that you decide to be yourself. Now, for some reason, I feel like there are quite a few men watching this. I don't know why, because that's not usually my demographic, although my usual, in quotes, air quotes, is only about 2 months into this project with this channel. I just want to say that for a lot of my men out there, just know for a fact that you guys are very beautiful as well. And when people talk beauty, they don't necessarily refer to men, but I feel like a lot of times, like, your aesthetics can be beautiful. The way that you act, the way that you cherish people in your life is very beautiful as well. But I also feel like the way that you face things, and this is for everyone, and pile number 2, but mostly my guys right here. I also feel like the way that you face people talking maybe about you or to you, because these resemble like lips to me, and you're just kind of like, you know, kind of relaxed and just listening. I feel like you could be a very great listener, and we really need that. We need that in our society. And I'm not trying to bring sexism here, male-female roles, whatever. But I am just grateful for you being here, and I'm grateful for you tuning in, and for you having the sensitivity as well, and being acknowledged also that being sensitive is perfectly fine. You are a human being, not a human doing. And I guess it's weird, but I'm hearing I want to apologize for all the gender roles that we have dumped upon you, and all the pressure, and all the things that we've done as a patriarchy to support toxic expectations from people. And that's everybody collectively across, but especially my men. I feel like you guys are, anyways, maybe I'll do a man reading soon, but I feel like a lot of you guys are just recently woken up, or have been waking up, and don't have a lot of support even in this community. So I want to tell you that you are loved, that you're experienced with joy, that people really think about you, and they feel joy when they think about you. Okay, moving on. So the last thing I want to say is that pile number 2, the 8 of Wands right here. I feel like you have the ability to communicate. I feel like you move fast. I feel like when you get fired up, there's no stopping you. When you get an idea in your head, in your heart, maybe you're like me, you're up at 3 a.m. doing crazy stuff like this, so that we could just get it going, keep it moving, keep it pushing, all the things. So I feel like you might be somebody who likes to travel. You could, this is giving me even like regenerating the phoenix, rising out of the ashes vibe as well. But also, I feel like you're not afraid to bring the ashes. That's why this bird has the fire, the wand. So you could be feisty, right? Air quotes. You could be fiery. You could be a fire sign. But I definitely feel like whatever it is that you obtain from spirit, from higher self, from source, you bring into Mother Earth, and you really help people see things in a different manner. And we really appreciate that. And that is why you are a joy to people. So that's what I have. Number 1111 on camera. Much love to you. Until next time, namaste. Hi, pile 3. My name is Crystal with Toughdolltarot, and I'm here to do your reading. Pile number 3, you chose this beautiful image on the right-hand side of your screen. Today, I won't be downloading messages on that because I was up at 3 to do your read, because I couldn't relax after I remembered this is what I wanted to do. Yeah. So there might be a message in there for you as well. Pile number 3, I'm going to go ahead and get additional good juju by ringing the bell. And 3, 2, 1. Such a gentle bell. So how are you joy to people? Pile number 3. Celebration. There's joy right there. Okay. And support. Wow. What more can we say? Celebration. Yeah, you're joy guides. I feel like you're somebody who can find joy in almost anything and every circumstance, whether you have a lot or a little. And all of a sudden I'm hearing, and yes, I know she wasn't canceled. I'm not a fan of Jenny from the block, but I used to have a little, now I have a lot. that verse. I feel like maybe you came from humble means, nothing wrong with that. But I feel like you have kept your humility regardless. When you have been rising to the top, whatever that means to you, whether you have like a ton of land and employees that work under you and this lucrative business, or it doesn't really make a difference. I feel like your spirit maintained that humility. And I'm hearing grassroots, so that could mean something to you as well. And people really experience you with joy because I feel like you don't look at people in a tax bracket kind of a way. Now, I know you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. You know, it's almost like you sit with people and they're like, oh yeah, well, you know, and they put on these airs and it's like, well, you must feel really insecure. Sorry. Must be really insecure to feel like you have to be above someone else. I mean, a person that is really secure within themselves doesn't have to even compete with other people, right? And I talk about this a lot throughout my both my channels. By the way, pile number 3, this is my second channel. My first channel is called PsychicMD, where I have over 700 videos for you to peruse. I also will be putting in the community section, the community tab, readings to give away for September 2024. I haven't done it just yet. Moving on. How are you a joy to people? I feel like also you help people to really overcome. You help people to look above. I feel like all 3 got this kind of vibe. I feel like you guys are very spiritual, very connected. And maybe you're on this channel simply to get a little additional kind of boost of confidence, a boost of love, a boost of something. Because I feel like a lot of people take from you. They are quick to take the juice, all the juice of life. You know, they're quick to take all that sauciness, all the juice, and not that it's wrong. I feel like we're healers here for a reason. We are givers here for a reason as well. But also you could feel a little bit depleted and you could need a little bit of support for yourself. So pal number 3, I feel like I am here for that very reason. Okay, I just got massive confirmation. How are you a joy to people? You lend support. I feel like you extend your hand, you lend support, you lend your light. I feel like you lend stability to other people as well when they're going through really tough times. I just started kind of rocking back and forth. You know, when you start feeling kind of emotional or when you're feeling a lot of pain, at least this is how I process things. I tend to kind of rock back and forth a little bit. Some people put their hands on their head, almost like I can't believe it, the universal language of grief. And I feel like when people experience grief, they come around you. And I feel like you are able to heal. Not that it's your job. I'm not saying that, but you know exactly what I'm saying. They feel that comfort. They feel that love. They feel that light that comes from otherworldliness, from spirit, from the Most High, whatever you want to call it. And sorry if I sound funny. I do have a slight cold, so we are pushing through here. How are you a joy to people? Pile number 3. What do we have for the? We have strength. What? I love this card. Okay, we'll address that in a minute. We have the Empress. We have 7 of Cups. The 7 of what? That's not a lantern. The genie lamp. What if they call it a lamp? Anyways, if it doesn't have like any light to it, right? It has smoke. I don't know. I'm gonna have to look that up afterwards. After I hang up with you, like we're on a phone call here. Pile number 3, this is how we do. This is how we do it. Okay, so pile number 3, first of all, I want to say that you're incredibly strong. The strength came out here, and this is about overcoming obstacles. I feel like you have shut people's mouths as well. It's almost like this lion, right? It's a quintessential lion in this card, in the traditional tarot, but this lion is further being hidden is a crocodile or a somebody actually told me that crocodiles are really hard. Maybe it's an alligator. I don't know. I don't know my reptiles. Okay. But I feel like even when people come towards you and they have hidden agendas, hidden motives, you have the ability to shut their mouths, silence their mouths. I feel like any negativity that they're speaking, trying to speak into your life, things like that, or even that they want to conquer you, because Strength card is a lot about conquering. And it is intended, by the way, for us to conquer ourselves. So I feel like not only have you been able to silence and conquer other people, not that I feel like you're out there going, okay, let me wrestle you. Oh, I'm thinking about this thing I saw on YouTube one time, Squirrel, where these two girls were arm wrestling, and when the girl won, she actually broke the other girl's arm. It was wild. Anyways, TMI. But pile number 3, what I have for you right here is, yeah, you conquer all of your inner demons as well, and you show other people that it is possible. And I feel like with all these little mushrooms right here, you allow for space to grow. Things don't always have to keep moving, but I feel like even with growth, her hair speaks to me about growth. Of course, the lion's mane speaks about growth, but I feel like you could really, you could rein in things that seem contrary in your character or in your behavior or in your interests, and you tend to marry them, right? Because it's not a lion and it's not a crocodile or an alligator. It's a hybrid of both in this case. And yet I feel like you can handle things very gracefully, and you handle them in such a manner that you inspire growth, you inspire, this is your medicine, is your strength, is you can conquer your own inner demons, your own doubts, but also if people want to bring the fire to you, you can handle that as well. And it's not like a thing. You're like, yep, I'm here and I'm going to shut your mouth too. So pile number 3, you guys could be sassy. You could be known for maybe being a little wild in your speech or saying what needs to be said. But I feel like in the end, everything calms down and things are peaceful. I don't feel like you go and make a scene. That is not you. But I feel like if people want to bring the fire or bring the mess to you, you're going to handle it, deal with it, and shut that ish down really quick, okay? And I love that for you. And people love that for you as well. And that's how you bring joy to people. I feel like you're quick to defend other people. Even I am hearing that you defend enemies, and enemies in air quotes, people that think that they have an agenda against you, or people that want to compete with you, that they want their one-upmanship. You know how you have the silent competitors at work or family members at home and things like that. I feel like you will stand up for them, even knowing that they are trying to compete against you, because it is of no cause to you to really pay that any mind, because you, pile number 3, are only in competition with yourself. And therefore, I feel like you are divinely supported. I feel like your ego is very low. People can think that you have a big ego, but I feel like people fail to understand that you have a lot of power. They understand that with time and with experience, and sometimes being on the wrong end of you, that type of experience as well. But I feel like also that is how you win people over as well. I do have a video that talks about like winning enemies into friends or something like that. If you want to take a look at the I'm all video roster. Wow, wake up. So pile number 3, we have the Empress right here. And with this Empress card, I mean, look, she is divine. I feel like you have just a reverence for the other side, for spirit, for spirituality, all things that are beautiful. I feel like also this could have been from a long time ago. I feel like once upon a time, just sharing my experience, I wanted to be a nun. That's how I felt when I was younger, and it didn't happen, by the way. But I feel like this person, you have a very bright aura, but also a very protective aura. So when people want to come and steal your warmth, they want to bask in your glory, not give back, things like that. I feel like you could withdraw your energy quickly and easily because you know what time it is, right? But also with the 7 of Cups, you have a lot of options. And I feel like people see that you have options, but each and every time you are choosing you, and you are choosing source. So sometimes people can like be a little bit judgy because there's all this like money down here and stuff. And they're like, well, what? Why are you not monetizing this? Or why are you not going after this? You'll make more money being a doctor, lawyer, whatever. But you're in contact with your spirituality, and that's not what you feel like you want to do. Not that you can't be spiritual, being a doctor or lawyer by a long shot, but you get the gist of it here. With the Empress, I feel like people look at you is having abundance. So you get your abundance through nature that even though it doesn't belong to you, because ultimately nothing belongs to us, I feel like you have a spirit of cooperation, a spirit of thinking about humanity and the masses and things like that, and not just about like you. This isn't about let me build my fort, everybody else can freeze kind of a thing. So, excuse me, how are you a joy to people? Is that they see you choosing time and time again. Even when you get tempted to make a choice and compromise your ethics, you choose time and time again to go with what makes sense to you and what is on your trajectory. And that is very inspiring. And that brings a lot of joy to people because they see that it is possible. Pile number 3. What do we have for the, yeah, that's what's up. You're fierce, man. Ain't nobody messing with you. Nobody wants to wrestle with you either. I'd rather die on my feet than live on my knees. That's what's up. I mean, look at her. This is a girl boss. You could be a guy boss. It doesn't make a difference. You have boss energy. I feel also that you're very refreshing. I just got like a little breeze from the window being open right here. And I feel like you could be very refreshing. I feel like when you speak a lot of times, people can get the chills because literally I just got a little chill. But also my stomach growls, so maybe make people hungry. I don't know. With the strength card, also people can mistaken their feelings for you. Like, I feel like people have a lot of lust for you, a lot of desire because you exhibit a lot of strength, but it is self-mastery. In that strength, you're not going out, again, wrestling all the Tom, Dicks, and Harrys out there. You're just kind of like, well, if I got it, I guess I got it. Here we go. But you're not out there to like conquer the world in the way that television shows you, in the way that the movies like Taken or whatever Hollywood wants to put out there shows you. But you are a joy because you embody the word autonomy. And I feel like individuality as well. You could be somebody who's a little bit androgynous as well. I just saw the number 1313 on my camera. So you could have had a lot of endings. You could have like ended a lot of things that really didn't gel well with your spirit or with your trajectory of what it is that you're trying to do now. And I feel like all the changes that you have made really serves to inspire people. It gives people joy to like watch you. Also, I feel like you could be a fashionista, like the way that you mix up your outfits. I really feel like you kind of mix it up. You could wear like a tie or like a boy belt. And if you're female or vice versa, doesn't make a difference. Or if you're a guy, you could get your nails did or wear eyeliner, you know, all the things. But I feel like you don't really put a lot of weight into the whole gender thing. And as you should not, right? We're all spirit embodying a meat suit in the end. So pile number 3, we have for the far too many people are looking for the right person instead of trying to be the right person. Yes. And this is how you bring joy. She gives me like strong Stevie Nicks vibes right here. I feel like you could be a trailblazer, right? I feel like, again, with the fashion, you could love fashion. Even if you're somebody like myself, you know, find things like at the thrift store or whatever that you want to kind of mix and match and play around with. And maybe it's rare that you wear the same idea twice and people want to emulate this as well. So, or you could be literally in fashion. Okay. So that is what I have for you. This is how you bring joy to people. And also thank you so much for bringing me joy with your comments and subscriptions and things like that. But also I would love to have ideas on what you would like to see next. So that's all. Much, much love. Until next time, namaste.